The view by many around the world of Wall Street as all being scuzzy, and you and Warren have major investments in big banks, so you obviously don't think that.
No, they're not all scuzzy.
So who are the biggest perpetrators?
Well, what happens is that the people sort of lose control. If you have a proprietary trading and he suddenly makes $300 million, he wants more power and more. And so you give him more billions to play with, and then he makes more and you give him more. And in a sense, all these nice people are prisoners of the system, and nobody can say no to the ever-expanding number of activities, and they're all competitive, and they don't like it if J.P. Morgan is making a lot of money in trading derivatives and they're making a smaller amount, and so the envy and the internal acquisitions of power by the heavy trading proprietary people, it just naturally causes an expansion where very good people end up in a very silly outcome. I would argue that happened less at Goldman because they have more of a partnership culture and they're better at controlling people. And that's why I don't like Goldman being singled out, because I regard them as the best of the investment bankers, and everybody is now pillaring them as if they were the worst.
Why do you think they're being villainized?
I think it's an accident.
It's an accident?
It's an accident.
On the fact of, on the part of lawmakers?
Just their name came up. No, I think it's an accident.
An accident, not attacking the, quote-unquote smartest on the street?
No, I don't think somebody in the SEC said, find something wrong with Goldman so I can step on them. No, I think something just popped out of the system of the myriad things they were investigating, and I think it's kind of an accident they ended up in the headlights. And I think it's an unfortunate accident because I think they're the best of the breed, not the worst.
When you look at Goldman, I mean, you've said they're highest in morality and competency on Wall Street, yet they are at
the big banks on Wall Street, yes. And
they're at the focus of the SEC's investigation. They're potentially could be entangled in a criminal investigation by the Department of Justice. You and Warren have a $5 billion stake in the company. What happens to Goldman?
Well, they drew a lot of headlines, and they got attacked at a time when everybody was furious at all investment banks. And of course, it's a significant disadvantage to Goldman to have drawn all this attention. And they're not perfect. It isn't as though Goldman, they deserve some share of the blame for recommending this irresponsible system, along with all the other banks, to their government. They liked all this increased power. And they thought correctly, we can handle all this discretion. But you shouldn't urge on your government a system of control that's so loose that only you can handle it without disaster. You should have a system of government that a less skilled person can't get in trouble under.
Will Goldman make it through?
Oh, sure.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Looking at the system, and we cannot forget the lawmakers that created this system. 90 senators voting in favor of repealing Glass-Steagall. Many of those senators were the ones lambasting Goldman executives on Tuesday on the Hill.
Well, there's no question about the fact that our legislators went along with a whole lot of governmental policies that were foolish. So probably the worst example is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
And yet they've gotten the least attention.
Well, not only that, they had the exact system of regulation they're now talking about. A specialized government body that has nothing to do but watch them and keep them sound. That's what they had, and of course it failed utterly. See, I think you have to take away activity prerogatives from people who are using the government's credit, including the people who are too big to fail. That worked in Glass-Steagall. We had a long period without scandal after we took away the powers of the banks. It isn't like the country didn't have actively growing GDP during all that period of Glass-Steagall. That system worked fine.